into this. So, mYinsanity versus Karnage eSports. I'm probably going to have to very quickly close a couple of things, actually, which I didn't really think about until just now. Oh, hang on. Excuse me, guys. Excuse me. I wasn't very well prepared today, was I? I thought I was, and then I've just remembered I've just forgotten to do so much stuff in the last few minutes. I just need to quit out of Skype. There we go. There we go. Goodbye, Skype. Thank you for giving us your Skypiness. I don't know what's going on. Right, okay, guys, let's introduce our players. So, let's go in game. In the upper right-hand corner, we're going to be starting with the purple Zerg player from mYinsanity. It's Autumn. mYinsanity, I didn't put up the little scoreboard and I'm about to start talking about it. There we go. So mYinsanity doing a pretty good job for themselves so far. They have had a bit of an unexpected loss against Skillforge. They're currently 4-1 in the league. They could be higher if they probably played their match against ESC. But because of that, they're currently only second place. I'm pretty sure they could nip first if they were that extra step ahead. Who's actually ahead of them? I literally looked at this, it can't have been that long ago. They're currently being led by Team Alternate, who are actually only on 4 wins themselves, but they Alternate are yet to lose a map, so or yet to lose a match. So mYinsanity are in a really good position right now in the league. Upcoming matches: Karnage against Karnage this week, which should be, I think, mYinsanity favoured. Alternate, who are on a very strong run. So that's definitely mYinsanity's chance to stop them and then to take the lead in the group. And then Mouse Control in week 9. Currently we're, including this week, we've got 5 weeks remaining of the SC2ITL. And a few matches to probably catch up as well. So very exciting times here as we're going to jump down to our bottom left hand corner of the map player. It's going to be from Karnage eSports, Namshar, and Karnage have been on absolute top form as of late. And I really mean that. I mean, you know, Karnage are one of these teams who, I don't know why the logo is looking funny. The Karnage logo, for whatever reason, it just always looks like a little bit off. There we go, I fixed it. Something about the way Expert's set up, it causes the Karnage logo to go a bit funny. Anyways, so Karnage eSports, they are on really good form right now. You know, they're 4-2 overall in match score. Very close loss to Vegas Squadron, but then a 4-0 against New Era Gaming, a 4-1 against Skillforge. They're in great form right now, and they have a couple of tough matches coming up. The first of these being against mYinsanity right now. The next will be against ESC, and then they've got a game against Followers of Extermination. So right now, Karnage are actually looking pretty good to maybe make the playoffs, especially if they can take down one of mYinsanity or ESC. So guys, those are our teams. I'm sure we'll come back to them stats in a later match as well to fill some time. Right now, let's talk about what's going on at the start of this game. We've had both players open up with pool first into a hatchery. So both these guys open up in a very similar way up until this gas was taken for Autumn. So he's going to be going into that single gas for now to open up with. And Namshar's actually doing the exact same thing, just a little bit later on here. So Namshar with a slightly later gas. Yeah, I mean, nothing really too much to go into here. I mean, he just decided to take his gas a bit later. So, slightly faster speed will come up for Autumn. We'll see if he leaves free workers in gas once he's got that 100 gas mine for Zergling speed or not. So, we'll just keep an eye on that as things go on. The first couple of links for both players are going to come in and get a little bit of a scout off here to see what exactly is going on, what exactly is up for both these guys. And, yeah, I mean, Namshar gets in there, he sees that gas, he sees how long it's been mining for. These two Zerglings are getting towards the main base for Autumn, and he's going to see that Namshar is also mining a gas. Now, 100 gas mined, and Namshar still has a Zergling in here, so you can still keep a little bit of an eye on this gas if you want to, and 3 workers have been kept on there, so Autumn with the opportunity to go straight into a Baneling nest. Now, as the Zergling's getting cleaned up over on this side of the map. Now, Namshar, he is just about to reach his 100 gas, so I'm assuming he's going to stick with 3 workers on his gas as well. We didn't see a worker killed, did we? No, we didn't. Just a little bit of nibbling done by them, a couple of Zerglings which are in here. And this Zergling's still alive. He's actually going to try and sneak out, and I think he will make it. Whoa, he actually wants to stay in the main base, so going to keep on scouting here with this little Zergling. And Autumn is going to still keep hunting this down. He looks as though he's about to catch it, but the Zergling stays alive still for a little while longer. Namshar completely bypassing Zergling speed here, looking as though he probably wants to start up an evolution chamber, go straight into his +1. I say that, and then he starts up his Zergling speed, so it's a little bit late for that Zergling speed. In all honesty, I mean, what was the you know, what was the point in delaying it? Well, almost no point. Now, he is going to still try and scout if the Zerg, and if he just went in here, he could actually spot that lair, and that would be a huge scout here for Namshar, and that's exactly what he's going to be able to do, and he comes in and he sees the lair, so immediately here, Autumn is pretty much revealed what he wants to do. Taking extra gases, he is very likely looking to head into that Mutalisk style of play. Namshar, he's actually starting up a Baneling Nest of his own, a Roach one, Evo Chamber coming down. I wouldn't be surprised if he actually decided to cancel the Zergling speed once he gets closer to finishing, just so he can get that extra gas to spend on Roaches, realizing that he may not need Zergling speed, although I guess he might, because, I mean, with the Mutalisk play from Autumn, he is definitely going to be massing up Zerglings with the rest of his minerals, and using that as an attempt to try and cancel off any third base of his opponent that could try and come down here in this game. So Namshar, he's going up to 3 gases of his own right now. He's got a few overlords on the way. Second Evo Chamber being added on as well for him. He's just blocking off, making sure he's going to be safe against these first few Zerglings which are coming out from his opponent. And safe is exactly what he is right now. No way them Zerglings are going to be able to penetrate through here just yet. They're actually going to stay just off of the creep for now, and maybe look for another opportunity in a couple of moments. They're actually going to take down a creep teammate, which is, you know, pretty nice. Better than nothing. And moving forward, they get another creep teammate as well. It's just delaying a little bit the speed at which this third base can be taken. You know, he's not going to be as confident moving out with, well, I mean, it's a very minimal effect, but it takes a little while longer to get a Queen over there, to get Spore Crawler over here, or get Spore Crawler in this location. And of course, that's a very big deal when it comes to when you're playing Mutalisk, because you don't want to give your opponent free reign of where them Spore Crawlers can go. So kind of nice to tonight. Very minimal, I would say, in the overall terms of the game. As these Zerglings are going to try and run by, but they do just run into a group of Roaches here. Bless me. I am pretty ill, guys, so I apologise for all of the sniffling and the coughing and the sneezing that you're probably going to hear tonight. I can't do anything about it. A bunch of Spine Crawlers coming down here for Autumn, and he's actually already got a bunch up and running. Namshar is basically looking to try and end this game before his opponent gets an opportunity to get these Mutalisks out. Now, first few Spine Crawlers are doing a little bit of damage here. The Ling's coming forward to wrap around. So many Banelings coming in. They're going to help out a lot in terms of trying to bust through here. A lot more Banelings also coming in right now. And where are these Banelings going to connect? Well, they kind of start getting through here. Transfuse is used. One of these Spine Crawlers does die. And there's only a few Spine Crawlers left, but it should, well, there's only 2 on this kind of side, so these Roaches may be able to get behind the mineral line. The Banelings are going to try and come through as well. They're going to try and get them drones, and them drones are a bit trapped. It's going to be a huge explosion. One connection goes down, the other Baneling doesn't quite make it. So some drones being killed, but not that many, only about 6 or so far, and all of these Roaches actually go down here for Namshar. And, well, 34 drones to 41 is the final count there. 7 workers killed by Namshar, and that's not really enough. And if you look at resource loss, you can see Namshar is throwing away quite a lot to be able to do that here. I guess he killed off a few Spine Crawlers, but I mean, these Spine Crawlers still remain. Namshar actually has a group of Zerglings. He's going to try and run around the side, may try and look to cancel a third base, which is coming down. As Mutalisk going to start cleaning up this creep once again. This third base is unprotected, and there's no way Namshar can really get in range to get over there to protect that. His lair is only about halfway done right now. As these Zerglings are going to run by the spines, they get past the Banelings just before they morph. He's going to split them up and start getting some damage done here. So drones are being pulled already. As these Zerglings are going to keep on going for whatever they can. As one Baneling gets used up. And the last couple of things get cleaned up as well here. Mutalisk just cleaning up the map right now. 1300, 700 in the bank. It looks as though Namshar looking as though he just wants to kind of go into Hydralisk Den here, I would imagine. Spend his money on Hydralisks as soon as possible. And, oh, he's actually going to Nidus Network. Interesting. So he's going to try and base trade a little bit here. He's got these Queens. The Queen of all of the energy, though, goes down. That was a lot of energy on that Queen there. As these Mutas do get turned away, but they're kind of controlling Namshar quite heavily right now. There's no anti-air in this main base at all, and that is really, really bad for Namshar here. As the Queens are going to come forward. A few drones coming in, a few Zerglings coming in though, and all of these Queens are actually going to be looking to go down. A single Baneling gets taken down, but there's absolutely nothing here to defend in the main base. The single Spore Crawler is going to go down before it finishes building, and these Mutas are going to have absolute free reign of the main now. 18 Roaches are about to pop out, and there's a Nidus Network which has finished up. So this Nidus, well, I mean, where does he put it? Over here? No, he's not going to get into the main base or anything, so this is kind of a weird position. These Mutalisks are kind of just flying around, completely controlling what Namshar can do right now. Worker counts down to 31 against 31. Looks as though our Roach one is going to be dying here as well. Namshar has not used these evolution chambers at all yet in this game. Because now one of his gases looks as though it might be a little bit of an issue here. I'm surprised he doesn't just make a Hydralisk Den. The Hydralisk Den could have been great against these Mulisks. As we see a third base on the way up right now for Autumn. So Autumn trying to get his third base up and running as this nice network does pop into play, and immediately that third base just gets cancelled, and Namshar sees it, and he'll just load back into the nice network and pop out back at home again very, very shortly. So this nice network will go down, and yeah, for a little while longer here, Namshar he continues to lose all of these overlords out on the map. Supply block now at 86 over 84. A lot more spam crawlers being started up by Autumn, which is actually keeping the work accounts very, very even. Being able to now, I'm surprised Autumn didn't really kind of sit around in this main base mode and try and achieve a little bit more with the Mulisks while he had complete control of it. I guess he did a fair amount. Queen and Smoke Crawler here will be enough to turn these around, but of course, well, I mean, the lair's not in range of that Spore Crawler. The Spore Crawler doesn't cover this side of the lair, so Lair is actually taking a bit of damage here. One Mutalisk does go down. Another Queen pops out here, and these Queens are trying their best. They've taken down 2 Mutalisks in total. Another Spore Crawler is about to finish up, but will it be in time? These Mutalisks are going to get it, and it looks as though the Spore Crawler will fall. Another one, he actually cancelled it and he remade it straight away. This Lair still going, taking damage, and Namshar just GG's. I just don't understand why he doesn't make a high. Without any further ado, let's go straight into our game. Game 2 between Karnage eSports and mYinsanity. We're going to be starting with our purple Terran player in the lower right hand corner of the map. From Karnage eSports, it is Insane, a Terran player who's been getting better and better and better as the weeks go by in SC2 Improved Team League, and as the seasons go by as well. I'm pretty sure this guy's been playing for Karnage eSports since Season 1. Karnage, like, they just always seem to have such a tough time in the SC2ITL, and in the first season they just missed out of the playoffs. They were in a group of, they've been in a group of mYinsanity every season so far, I think. Second season they actually nearly got demoted into the second division because they had a really poor performance in Season 2. So you know, they made it through here to Season 3 and they've completely turned it around, so congratulations to them, and you know, fair play to them. They have completely turned it around and completely changed, you know, the whole, you know, basically how everything's going for them, you know, from bottom of the table right now to the top. And with a stronger lineup of teams as well, if I dare say so myself. Okay, let's introduce our mYinsanity player in the upper left-hand corner of the map. Of course, mYinsanity Season 1 champions, where Saral, he came in and he all-killed his he all-killed Cascade in the grand finals of the first season. Bit of a disappointing performance in Season 2. They did get knocked down, I believe, by Alien Invasion in the round of 8. That was a pretty fun series, if I do remember correctly. It's so long ago, though. Anyways, this is mYinsanity's Autumn in the upper left-hand corner of the map. I keep going to call him Winter, but every time I keep going to call him Winter because he used to be called Winter, and yeah, so I keep kind of going for that, as we do see a hatchery first into a pool, into a gas out of our Zerg player here in the upper left. As we see a Reaper coming out for Insane right now, So we got this Reaper on the way out. It's about 75% of the way done. Intrigued to see more than anything where he goes after the first Reaper. Does he start a second Reaper? Does he go straight into a Reactor? It looks as though it's going to be... Well, okay, he actually queues up a second Reaper. So, second Reaper on the way. And he's going to go for what is, I would say, the most standard of Terran openings. I mean, there's so many standard Terran openings now. They all open up with at least one Reaper. You can have a second Reaper if you want. A bit more safe, a little bit more aggressive. You can go up to 3 Reapers, of course, and be very aggressive and very kind of, I'm going to contain you to your Zerg opponent. You know, of course, you can just stick with a single Reaper, get a bit of scouting information, a little bit of safety, and of course, back at home, start up your Reactor, start up your factory, and go into Reactor Hellions nice and quickly, and get a few Marines out as well, nice and early on, to open up some different forms of aggression. This first Reaper is doing the dance with the Zerglings as expected. It shouldn't really get any kills, you know, it shouldn't get too many kills, if any. He's just slowly picking away here. He might get a Zerglin kill or two, and that'd be nice, but the Queen now pops out, and that's actually going to make it very hard for him to do that. He does get a drone, but at the cost of the life of his first Reaper, and not sure how worthwhile that is. I mean, he's got the second Reaper out. I guess there's not too much for him to kind of go around and spot, but it's always nice to have an extra little bit of firepower when your first couple of Hellions do come out here. So, Mebal boost is on the way for our Zerg. Autumn, he has started that up. He's got one worker on gas here. It's just, you know, probably just keeping this gas going so that he can start his upgrades whenever he drops them Evo chambers. I'd be surprised if we saw a fast lair from him here. Back at home, Insane going for the free command center build as expected, and we'll now start adding on some Hellions as well. So very standard TVZ build. This Reaper's actually going to turn around and will actually run into the Zerglings, which are crossing the map here. Insane's not paying attention to his Reaper though, now he will. He can pick off a couple of these Zerglings here at least, and he will get 2, and he will be able to keep on chasing as well. Zergling speed not here for another 20 seconds or so. So Autumn just going to try and force a mistake out of his opponent, but Insane, too good control. Not that it's that, not that it's that difficult of control, but keeps it alive. And the Reaper does remain. So Zergling speed about finish, no massive swell of Zerglings or anything like that. So not going to try and punish his opponent here with that Zergling speed time. And it's not, it's not like it's a fast Zergling speed or anything anyways. Autumn just going to start to take a third base. So this is basically the point where he says, I feel safe enough to take a third. He's probably going to want to invest in kind of 12 to 20 Zerglings kind of soon, just so you can turn around these initial Hellions. That would generally be the point of getting that speed so early, so you can get them Zerglings out to be able to deflect them, the Hellions, the pressure from your third base. So Insane is coming across the map right now. He starts up stim behind. There's a couple more Hellions still on the way. It looks as though this is just going to be the straight up standard build. He's not going to go for anything funny. Might add engineering base first, might add barracks first, but he is just going to be heading into straight up macro TVZ here. As these Hellions do poke forward a little bit, they'll catch a single Zergling, but don't want to venture too much further forward. We'll come in here and confirm the presence of a third base, and not too much you can tell from the third base, I guess, either. I mean, it could just be a fake third base that he's not going to drone up. He just uses kind of a macro hatchery, but I mean, you can just stick around with these Hellions for a while. There's nothing too scary to kind of turn them away immediately here. And these Zerglings are just sticking strong with the Queens for now. And yeah, the Zerglings are just sticking with the Queens and getting this third base up and running nice and safely. The creep is continuing to spread out here. The drones have to turn away because of the threat of these Hellions. Queens actually move a little bit far forward, and we're actually maybe going to see one Queen die. Is there transfused? Yes, there is. So I think Insane's very smart to just kind of back off and not lose a Hellion there for no real reason. He looks as though he's darting forward again. He will lose one. Gets a creep tumor. Again, nothing too game ending on either side here, as we do have extra barracks and engineering bays now being added on. These Hellions being turned away. Made 8 Hellions in total, which is quite a few, but I mean, it's not loads. It's not more than usual. I mean, 6 to 8 is what I would call standard. So makes 8 Hellions, and we'll try and do a little bit more with these here. Just try and keep this creep back for as long as he can, while just keeping his map control. I'm going to land his third base now. So +1/+1 all the way for both players from the Zerg and the Terran. Extra barracks being added on, and Terran's just going to go straight into his mid game here, as all of these barracks are landing on reactors, and he's just going to be pumping Marines for the next 20 minutes or so. Hellions do catch a 4th base on the way up, and this is quite an early 4th base, and it will be forced to cancel. Drone will fall. So these Hellions are doing their job still, keeping the map control, seeing if anything interesting is happening out on the map, which the Terran player should know about, and that 4th base would have been one of those things. Very ballsy to try and take the 4th before you have creep over there, before you have any real units out. He's actually going to now try and take the forward 4th location. We've got a left finish, so we're going to see the spy start up. Centrifugal hooks going to be on the way as well. So I mean, we are just heading into a good old TVZ macro game here. Both players playing what I would call the standard TVZ styles. Ling Bling meter against just bio mine, I would imagine. We're not actually seeing anything from the factory just yet. It is starting to build a reactor, so it looks as though it is just going to be bio mine. It could be bio hellbat, but I mean, these we're almost obviously definitely going to see some hellbats added into the composition, because we have these first Hellions, which can transform into hellbats once that armory finishes up. So we're going to see a few hellbats in there, but I'd imagine he's mostly just going to be making mines from this point onwards. This is his 4th base. Looks as though he's going to get security hit by a Zerg, and that's something our Terran player is not going to be able to do too much about now from this point. So some Marines meeting up with each other in the middle here of the natural and the third base, and beginning to move out. The first 2 medevacs have just popped, so good time to start moving across the map and keeping these Hellions alive from earlier in the game. It's going to give Insane a pretty strong time right now as his 1-1 finishes. The only thing he's really missing is combat shields. And the worst thing about this for Autumn is it's just as he wants to invest into Mutalisks, and when you want to invest into Mutalisks, the last thing you want to do is spend all of your gas on Balins, which is exactly what you might have to do right now, as a couple of Marines do lead the charge here. One Balin goes off, and I think a Reaper, as if he leads with his Hellbats, he should be able to push up here. Depends how good of a trade he can get, depends where the Balins explode. We have got a bit of a run by, so that's doing a little bit of damage, and is maybe what's distracting Insane from truly moving forward right now. Work count 65, SCVs is 73, drones are pretty even in economy. Insane just kind of up in supply right now, only by about 10 supply, and Autumn is of course going to be banking a little bit to make, well, he's got 5 meters on the way. He's banking a little bit here. Very minimal difference, but Insane needs to be careful. I mean, he's waited a long time to push with this, and if you wait this long, you've got to be careful, because I mean, he hasn't really reinforced this at all. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he needs to just fall back, reinforce. I mean, look at that, all of a sudden his army's almost doubled in size, so he didn't want to go forward there too soon. He is continuing to add the Hellbats on, so deciding to go for Hellbats instead of say adding on mines. Scanning forward here, and we'll start to maybe clean up a bit of this creep. He's trying to get a queen as well. Yeah, gets one of them tuners, gets another one as well. Some Banelan's leading the charge right now. Not the best of connections though. And that's a few Banelan's which I would say are a little bit wasted. So many Banelan's right now, and again, that's why generally the mine play is so favoured, because these heavy Banelan styles don't work out so great against it. Queen does fall, and the creep has been stopped for a little while. There's 4 Hellions are leading the charge up this ramp, and may actually pick off a queen. They do, and a couple of Marines and Marauder behind it as well. The Mules are starting to take a little bit of damage here. Banelan's rolling into singular Hellbats, not the way that he wants to be trading at all here, and coming straight down this ramp as Zerg player going to commit and then disengages. So just wanted to try and clean a little bit up. Right now Insane looks as though he's just too good though, in too good of a position, because how does the Zerg begin to clean this up? I'm not too sure. The splits are pretty good, reinforcements coming in as well, and there's no Banelan's left, and without Banelan's this 4th base is just going to go down in a matter of seconds. Insane being very careful about it, but look at that, Autumn already gives up the base, won't even try to hold on to this here, and this is something which Insane's about to see. Oh, he's actually going to back off. He really doesn't want to overcommit into a fight here. Now, 2-2 is finished for a Zerg player, and it's still about 30-45 seconds away for our Terrans. So, going to reinvert, you know, he's given his opponent time to re-drone this 4th base, or not re-drone, but send the drones back to mining here. These Marines do begin to move back, letting the Hellbats try and tank the Banelan shots. And the reinforcements here once again for our Terran play. He's actually about 40 supply up right now as these Marines stim up the ramp. So some Banelans are going to come forward and start crashing into this army. The splits are pretty good though, and the Banelans just don't really connect the way they need to. More splits over to the left hand side. The Banelans don't know where to hit for the best, and finally they get an okayish hit off, but it's just a little bit too late. 3 more Banelans finish morphing in. This time Insane is going to waste no time at all moving up the ramp, and he's just going to throw down a scan, clean up some of this creep as well before moving forward, maybe even to victory right now. Killing off the Overlords. Our Zerg player is supply blocked, and Autumn is in a lot of trouble here. Our Terran player will only get stronger from this point in the game with this supply advantage. He's got a 4th base starting up. He's got 3-3 on the way. It's going to take a lot here for Autumn to maybe work some kind of comeback into this. 2-2 against 2-2 in the upgrades tab, and this never relenting Terran aggression is just going to keep on coming. Another stim coming down. He has a lot of Banelans, and again, no mines to really help out with that. But once them Banelans are gone, they are gone. And they're coming forward once again here, looking for another trade. Well, Insane doesn't get the best of starts to that fight, but he gets off of the creep in the end here. And he will take out the majority of the Banelans, or well, the majority of Banelans go off against Marines / Marauders / Hellbats. And, well, scanning again here, and so he's going to move forward once again. Again, he's got this 4th base on the way. His 5th base hasn't. I mean, the Mutants haven't even been. I don't think Autumn's actually been on his opponent's side of the map since the beginning of this game. You know, when he tried to go for that little bit of a run by trying to establish a base over the right hand side, that's going to get killed off here very quickly. And Autumn is in a lot of trouble. He's finally actually going to start trying to sort out a little bit of a counter attack right now. I mean, there's not that many units. I mean, there's nothing really. Well, there's a few Marines and some Hellbats back at home for our Terran player, and in fact, they're doing a pretty good job. They clean up all of the Zerglings. Now the Banelans come in. I mean, the Banelans do start to crash in here, but it's just not enough. Look at that. All of the Banelans basically gone. About 6 Marine. And what are them 6 Banelans going to do? Zerg player just cannot find a way right now. He's going to get surrounded here. The rest of his army is going to get forced to fight, and of course he just doesn't have the numbers at all. He's got barely any mutalisks out. Only 6. How many mutalisks has he lost? 17. He's just not being able to. Again, I mean, Autumn's just been pinned back from the start of this game for whatever reason, and Insane has just never given up. And without giving up, you know, when was Autumn's chance ever going to come? And I mean, it looks as though it just isn't going to come. These mutants are still trying to find a way to maybe pick off a couple of reinforcements, but they run into a small group of Marines. 2 more mutants die. That's a third of the mutalisks on the map right now. Autumn was trying to get a few swarm hosts out to try and survive a little longer here, but just without further ado, guys, we are going to go straight into now Game number 3 between these two teams. If I can figure out the buttons again. Oh, it's not my day, is it? I can't seem to do anything. Okay, we're going to go into our third game of the night here. We're actually going to be starting down here with our player in the lower right-hand corner, the red Zerg player from mYinsanity. He was the player who all-killed Cascade in the Season 1 Grand Finals to crown mYinsanity the champions. How can he do here today against Karnage eSports? Here's Soral. In the upper right hand corner we have the purple Terran player giving some hope to Karnage eSports, tying up this series, and of course it's up to him now to maybe take them into the lead for the first time here today. I'm sorry, this was a little bit out of position and it was bugging me. I think that is better now. So yeah, very, very exciting and seeing here in the upper right hand corner, giving the Karnage a little bit of hope, tying up the series. mYinsanity clearly not messing around at all though today. Clearly not messing around at all though, sending Soral out as their second player. This is not going to be some kind of half-assed lineup. You know, generally mYinsanity they do send out a couple of academy players first, then they're like, okay, you know, now we'll send out Kane if we really are in a lot of trouble. Or sometimes they'll send out Stardust or Jachi, depending who's around. If they really need it. But generally, you know, they don't. You know, it's mYinsanity. They're pretty good with even without them players. Wow, look at this. We've actually just got 2 racks straight in the middle of the map here for Insane. And this is kind of intriguing. Now, he knows his opponent's either going to be bottom right or bottom left, because you can't spawn horizontal to your opponent here on this map, Deadwing. So, Insane, he's going to see what he can do. Now, this first overlord is right on course to see pretty much exactly these 2 barracks. It's heading straight across the middle of the map. Now, that could, I imagine it wouldn't be a bad thing, as this SCV is going to come in from a little bit of an interesting angle, and that might tip Soral off a little bit here. He's going to see this. He's actually rallied right here, so it looks as though this is exactly where he wants to scout. Now, the first Marine is going to be on the way out, and Zane probably shouldn't spend time chasing this overlord, because once it gets on top of this high ground, it's going to be safe. So, he's going to go for it anyway, as Soral now will be able to confirm that this is a 2-rack. I think, yeah, this Marine should really come back up the SCV, building the bunker, because drones are being pulled. Now, this, I mean, the overlord's going to get away, so I mean, what's he really achieved so far? I mean, I guess he wouldn't have done been much use over here before now. First SCV takes a lot of damage. It actually goes down. Nice little bit of control on the drones by Soral. 3 Marines right now, 4 Lings and 2 Spine Crawlers starting up. And this doesn't look too hopeful here for our Terran player, who is going to try and come back up this ramp. Now, he is going to trade against these drones here. Nice control. He kept one of them drones alive. Another one has fallen. There's 5 Marines, and drones are all being pulled to try and go onto this bunker, try and stop this SCV from getting in range to finish it off, and he gets this around. That's a little bit of a mistake there by Insane, who will be able to still trade for a fair few drones here. Whatever he wants to do back at home, I'm not too sure. He's actually killed off a bunch of Zerglings right now, and if he could run past these spines, if only he actually had that bunker finished, it'd be maybe okay for him. I mean, SCVs are being pulled, but it's a bit too late, so he's going to lose this first bunker here. A little bit of an intriguing situation between these 2 guys right now. The Silver Spine Crawler does move forward. 13 SCVs to 11 drones. We've got a command center starting up back at home. We do have a mule in play as well. How many workers were killed here? 4? He's actually going to get behind the mineral line, and that's quite abusive, because now it's going to stop a lot of mining over here. Going to reposition the Spine Crawler to stop it going into the main base. These Marines need to be careful, because there are Zerglings around. I guess he can just stopping the Spine Crawlers, the drones from mining those, quite nice. Picks up, he's starting to go back home. He's bringing his SCVs back home. Zerglings are going to start coming forward here now, and Insane actually going to target down at least 1 more drone. And that will be the end of it. So 6 workers killed in total. Not actually that bad then in the end. 16 SCVs to 12 drones. After this, he's getting 3 command centers up. Soral doesn't have gas, so it's not like any kind of bust can come against him. I actually kind of like this position. The only thing I'm worried about is the fact that there's currently 8 Zerglings coming across the map, and there is no unit building structure at home here for Insane. So this might be a little bit troublesome for him, as these Zerglings do begin to move forward and come up this ramp here, looking for a way to get into the natural. And I mean, there is their way straight in here. Now, this SCV is absolutely critical. Can it finish the command center? I feel as though it could have, but he's just going to run up upwards of the ramp anyway. If he could have finished the CC, he could have just lifted this. Starting 2 Marines right now. He really needs something to be able to come down here and make this command center. He's going to put all of his SCVs, and this is going to give Sorrel, of course, a little bit of an advantage here. As these SCVs are going to come down, they're going to try and fight. They really need Marines to back them up because they just don't have the hit points. And, well, he's bought a little bit of time, but, I mean, that command center is still not building. 2 Marines are now out. And I feel as though he probably just left that first SCV on the command center. As now some certain step micro will see Zayn probably try and clean up the majority of these. He's so close to killing all of them. They're all just so low. The 2 more Marines should be able to do it though. 16 SCVs to 23 drones now. He does have 3 command centers once this command center finally gets finished up here. So I mean, he can make this. He can definitely make a game out of this. I'm not going to doubt that at all. Sorrel still playing Gasser shows he's not really going to try and abuse his opponent's, position so much. Probably just going to try and take a third base from here and try and play the macro game out. But again, 3 command centers are pretty good, especially when they're 3 orbitals. So 3 orbitals are going to be dropping some mules on this natural expansion and trying to bring Zayn a little bit more into this game. He's going to have a full wall off at the front. It's on the factory as well. I'm kind of intrigued here. It looks as though he's probably going to start up a reactor there, so he's going to go into reactor Hellions here soon enough. Double gas taken now by Sorrel. Pretty standard time in comparison to the timing of the third base. So just taking that gas now, he's going to be able to get up to his Zergling speed nice and quickly. Again, it looks as though Sorrel from this point on will just be playing a nice standard game, I would imagine. Zergling speed, go up to a lair, get some upgrades going, get his Mutalisks out on the Bane and Nest, get his centrifugal hooks. Just go into Mutaling Bling. I don't see any reason for him to do anything else. I mean, if he really wanted to, he could try and go for some kind of bust with kind of Roach Bling or something, but I'm just not really feeling it. He just saw a Bane and Nest quite quickly here, so still a possibility. At the same time, it could just be for safety's sake. But I guess, he actually sees right now 3 command centers, so he's going to know what's up. 2 starports on the way. Zayn really needs to spot this overlord. In fact, he already has, so he's going to clear that off. Double starport on the way, so he's going to go into double cloak Banshee production with Hellions to back this up as well. So Zayn really doesn't want to go into a macro game against Sorrel at all. He really just wants to end this soon, basically. Like, when I say soon, I mean, really, really soon. He doesn't want this to go on at all for any amount of time. So, yeah. So the Queen's just sat at the front here on this creep. And Overlord starting to move out. Extra gas being taken. And creep continuing to spread here from the front of the base for Sorrel. These couple of Hellions do clean out the tower right now. These 2 Banshee, 2 starports have gone unscouted, so Banshee's now on the way. So Zayn is basically just hoping to catch his opponent off guard, but Lair finishing for Sorrel. Are we going to see a Spire coming down right away? Because if we do, because even if he has an Overseer, it doesn't necessarily mean he's going to deal with the Banshees, because he's going to be able, there's going to be so many Banshees. The idea is that they can just pick off a decent number of Queens anyway. So nice control here by Zayn. He actually keeps all of his Hellions alive and trades quite well against these initial Zerglings. We're still not seeing a Spire, even though that lair is finished. So this does bode well a little bit, quite nicely right now for Zayn. Surprised he didn't try and commit onto the Queens a little bit, considering he's going for these Banshees. Try and just take them down. Stimpack starting, so he's going to go into a very standard build behind this, it would seem. First Banshee out, second Banshee out, third Banshee on the way. Probably going to wait for 4 Banshees here and then move across the map with all 4 of them. As an SCV is going to be spotted here by Zergling on the third base. Again, needs to make sure not to reveal these Banshees until as late as possible. Hellions coming across the map once again here. They don't see the Zerglings on the tower, and this is going to be bad. He's going to lose a lot of his Hellions. Maybe, no. He's going to keep them alive. He turns around to fight and loses a couple more. So he does lose a lot, but not as devastating as it maybe could have been. He does the same thing again, runs straight into that tower he just doesn't have vision of. It's just a little bit too risky for him, really. Cleans out that single Zergling. We have had an Overseer come through, so Sorrel has spotted the Banshees. A change in drops, and immediately here, Zayn knows it's time to go. And we should, Spire's 70% of the way done. If Sorrel's seen these starports, if he's paid attention to it, he should be able to start up some spore cores. He should be completely fine. These Banshees coming across the map right now, and they've got cloaks, so they're just going to, well, they don't even need to cloak up just yet. They're just going to chase these Queens for now. And spore cores do begin. Sorrel has money for about 9 or so 9 or so Mutalisks from that spy finishes, which is now. And these Mutalisks are now on the way. So these Banshees have a very limited amount of time to get some damage done. What are they going to try and do here? There's a fair few Queens, and these, I mean, the Banshees have to basically spend time killing off the Queens, because what are they going to do otherwise? And he will kill off one without Transfuse coming down. 4 Banshees still remaining, but 8 Mutas about to pop, and these 8 Mutas are going to make such a difference as everything on the ground getting cleaned up here. But from a few Marines, the Overseer is maybe going to go down, but there's another one as well. These Overseers are kind of the biggest point right now as the Mutas come out, and these Banshees aren't going to be able to achieve much at all. Stimpack about to finish here for our Terran player, as he's actually got reinforcements coming across the map. Still, he's got 6 Banshees. He's kept all of these alive. Well, I say that a little bit too soon, as a couple of them do get caught, but he's got 4 Banshees, he's got Stim now, he's got a 3rd base, he's adding on extra power because he's going into the next stage of this game for himself. Soral, I mean, he's got 1-1, which is kind of the only advantage he really has, more so than anything else. Otherwise, it's still a fairly even game, I would imagine. Combat shields is a little bit delayed. That upgrade advantage for Soral is basically the major difference between these two players right now. I mean, the SCV count's okay for Insane. You know, he's on 67, he's killed a fair amount of creep with that push as well, which is nice. He's got this creep which is still forward though, and that's still going to be a little bit of an issue. The Muta's is going to be a little bit of an issue as well, and that's going to be kind of one of the major things here, dealing with these Mutalisks with, you know, in the main base basically. These Mutas are going to come into this main base in just a couple of moments, it would seem, for Soral. And here we go, he's going to start getting some damage done here, coming into the main, and he's going to kill off this first turret. And Insane just isn't in position to deal with this at all. He will move out on the map in response to this. He does have a fair few Marines, and he should be trying to scan to clean up some of this creep. But he just doesn't seem to care. He borrows some of his mines. He's forced the Mutas to turn around by moving out here on the map. And Soral, what is he going to do? He's on 90 drones. That's a ton of drones right now. As these Mutas try and come in, but the tower is held by Insane. He does have the vision here. All the creep is now going to be killed. So he's just holding pretty passively waiting to be able to scan to clean out this creep. A couple of Zergons coming around the side of the map, just scouting out, seeing if there's any hidden bases. Insane has moved back for now. A few mines still remain here in the middle of the map, and well, if anything flies over them, it's going to get absolutely decimated. It could be the Mutalisks! Whoa, very, very close to being a little bit of a disaster there. That would have been a whole flock of dead Mutalisks, and well, Zane's still doing a good job. He's actually cleaned up every single piece of creep out here on the map. There's a ton of Banelins waiting for him here, though. He's going to have to really... oh, but there's no Banelin speed! No Banelin speed, and that's actually a huge, huge factor in this. The Queen's going to go down. I mean, there's just so many units, though, and another round of Banelins come forward. I mean, they really need to just wait. Wait for the Banelin speed to kick in. More Banelins on the way. Some reinforcements coming down here from Zane as well. He's just going to hold in this position. I mean, he's kind of a little bit on creep, a little bit off creep. Burrowing his mines, reposition them a little bit. These Mutas looking for a way. Looks as though mines actually hit some of these Mutalisks already. There's a scan coming down, seeing what army is here, and coming forward with a fair amount. Banelin's cleaning up a couple of their mines, another mine actually going off here. As Soral is looking for a way to try and break out of this contain being set upon him right now by his opponent. Some mine hits are going to be non-existent apparently. And now they're absolutely awful mine hits. So Insane's just holding this position. He's reinforcing across the map. He's held position on his entire army when he probably only meant to hold position on what was right at the front here. Trading fairly well right now. He's actually forcing Soral to use quite a lot to defend against here. So many Banelins being used up all the time. And of course, well, that was actually a little bit of a better engagement there for Soral, and this is actually maybe his opportunity to go in. It is 2-2 against 1-1 here in the upgrades, and that's going to play a big part of this, as Marines are trying to split. The mines do get down here, and a couple of them go off. But what do they achieve? Well, not too much, but here come another round of reinforcements. A huge bunch of medevacs being picked off, as some Baners are spotted, and they're kind of left behind, and now they're going to get chased down off of creep. And, well, Soral's actually maxed out once again. 50 more lings straight away. He's just had so much money in this game. And Zane maybe just needs to back off a little while. He's training fairly well here, I would say, still. He's still being more efficient. Just Soral's working off of 90 drones, and if you're working off of 90 drones, you've got so much money, and, well, Insane's about to get his army a little bit surrounded right now, as their units are going to come in from every single direction. Some mines do go off, one of them hitting the flock of Mutalisks there. Banelins and Marines coming in from behind as well, and Zane's going to find it hard to split out of this one. And, well, he actually, again, manages to find a way to trade fairly well. He drops on the high ground here, just get the surely you just get the medevacs out of there. He's leaving the medevacs behind, and that's going to be a big mistake. In fact, that could be game-ending because he's going to lose every single medevac. And, I mean, he probably could have flown away if he really wanted to. He's going to lose his mines here at the front. It looks as though Soral is going to be able to have more than enough to just break through all of this. A stem forward here of a few of these Marines. Some more bins coming in. Soral just going to make sure he has enough before he goes in for the kill right now in this game. Number 3 to take the lead for mYinsanity in this best of 7. The mines do burrow. They don't get to go off though. And Soral is just going to completely overrun the natural. GG called. And Soral takes mYinsanity to a 2-1 advantage now in this best of 7 series between these two teams. So Karnage eSports going to be having to send out their 3rd player here in a moment. And can they take down Soral? I imagine we're probably going to be seeing, I'd imagine more than anyone, maybe Ike to come out for Karnage. Try and just get rid of, yeah, they could try and ZVZ with Poo-Poo, I guess. A few different options open here basically for Karnage eSports. We're going to be into our next game in a few moments time, guys. Very quick commercial break, and we'll be back with that game number 4 before you even know it.
I left no time to regret. Get my way with that same old bed. Oh, and you and your head high and your tears dry. Get on without your guy. And I went back to what so far removed from all we've been. And you tread a trouble track. Your odds are always stacked. You'll go back to black. We only said goodbye with words. I know 100 times. I go back to her and you go back to you.
And for map number 4 between these two teams, we're going to go into this in just a couple of moments. So Karnage versus mYinsanity, game 4. Karnage trailing right now, 1 games to 2, and we're going to be going into a ZVZ for this 4th map to see Karnage try and retake a lead. So, or retake an equality in this game, to retake a draw, I should say, to bring it back level. We got there in the end. In the southern side of the map, in the 6 o'clock position, we do have from mYinsanity, it is the red Zerg player, Cyril. Thank you to Zivion for correcting the way I pronounce Cyril. It's one of them names, like, I would just always pronounce it Cyril, like, because of the double R. I don't know why. It's just the way I look at the name and read it. MYI Hype from Wookie Mitch as well in the chat. Guys, how is everyone else in the chat doing? Let us know who you're supporting here today. And, yeah, let us know who you're supporting today. Let us know how you're all doing. Let us know what you've been up to today, maybe. What you're doing for the rest of the weekend. Shout out to Sujka, who's just hit that follow button on the Twitch channel about 10 minutes or so ago as well. Thank you for your support. Let's introduce our other player in this game right now in the upper right hand corner for Karnage eSports. It is Poo-Poo, the blue Zerg player. Both of these players are Finnish, so they were having a little bit of a Finnish chat before the game began. I really want to know why my FPS is so awful. Probably because I haven't paused the stream. Better? Yeah, much better. Okay, so waiting to get into waiting to see what exactly is going to be going on at the start of this game. It's going to be a hatchery first for Poo-Poo. It's going to be a pool first for Cyril. Mexican from Peru to the next matchup is ZVZ, as you can see right here on your screen. Of course, I'm on delay, guys, so by the time I see some of your questions in the chat, I'm sure the answer will already be obvious. So I apologise for the coughing again. I'm pretty ill. Been ill for a few days now. Hoping it's going to pass by the end of the weekend, maybe, hopefully. It's not getting any better yet, though. Just got to wait it out. Wait it out and hope that I'll someday, soon, feel whole again. But we've got StarCraft to entertain us until that time. And we do have ZVZ on our hands in this 4th game of the day between mYinsanity and Karnage eSports. So, kind of intrigued to see which direction this is going to be taking, as we have an Extractor finishing up here for Poo in his main base. So he's going to be opening with a gas, as is Cyril up here, down here in his main base as well. So both players opening pretty much mirrored so far, apart from the fact one went hatch first, one went pool first. But pretty similar ideas from that point. Poo are going to be slightly ahead in his gas count, but apart from that, not too much else to say about the game so far. A couple of queens on the way already for Poo because he opened hatchery first. Second queen on the way for Cyril, his first queen already out on the map because he opened pool first. Cyril with actually 4 lanes trying to run through here, and he actually will take a better fight from on top of that ramp, so it's actually going to be a little bit hard for Poo to clean this up. The queen should be able to help him out though. Puts them drones into a corner and he will keep them alive. It's a little bit of minor time loss, but kills off the Zerglings, so not so bad in the end, as the queen is also going to get in position here to get some damage down, enough to kill off the final 4th Zergling there. So all the Zerglings cleaned up, and Cyril gets some nice scouting information, as Poo has started up his Zergling speed and he has kept 3 workers in gas, and Cyril going to be doing the exact same. So, not too much going on still, really, at this point, as Bane and S do start for both players. So we might see a little bit of Ling Bling Wars at the start of this, which would be kind of nice. Get a little bit of excitement going, nice and early on in the ZVZ, instead of just a bit of a longer passive game. Nothing wrong with the more passive games, but it's always good to get a little bit of excitement nice and quick and early. Especially Ling Bling Wars, really fun to try and keep on top of what exactly is even happening between the 2 players. So, yeah, these Zerglings coming across the map, a couple of them only, going to try and get in here. Maybe Sky, I mean, they actually rallied away once they get to the top of that ramp, so maybe just try and see if there was a roach roaring down at the front here or anything early on. Did you see the Bane nest, perhaps? Maybe? No, okay, didn't get that far up, so Cyril is actually going to send 4 Zerglings around the right-hand side of the map, see if he can get anything done with these. Zerglings speed about kick in for both players, as evolution chambers are coming down as well, so both players just looking as though they're going to be going into their upgrades very shortly. A lair already on the way for Cyril as well as a roach roaring. So roach roaring coming in for now for Poo, so Cyril just getting a lair where his opponent is not. Zerglin speed kicking in for both players, and Cyril coming straight into the main base, getting a little bit of a scout off here, and we'll see. Honestly, not too much to be seen. I mean, he's seen the roach roaring, he's seen the evo chamber, but apart from that, he's not going to see no lair. Which I guess is something to be seen, even though it's not actually being seen. Single bailing helps clean them Zerglings up, and then the lair does now begin. So Cyril has a pretty good idea here that he's going to be ahead in that lair timing, whatever that means to him. Generally, I would say, unless you're playing Mutalisks, the lair time is not going to be all that important, because, I mean, it's the main point of the lair right now is going to be roach speed, and roach speed isn't going to be that important for Poo. I guess it's important for Cyril to know Poo doesn't have roach speed before him, because it means as he catches a lot of the Zerglings here with Baneling and keeps his 3rd base alive, because it means that Cyril can be basically a little bit more greedy out on the map with his roaches. He knows he's not going to be chased down, he knows he can disengage from any fights for a little while, a little earlier from that his opponent can, so it's kind of nice information, I suppose, as 3rd hatchery is on the way for both players, pretty similarly timed. And Poo is actually just not making +1 yet, which I'm a little bit worried about. I feel as though it's a pretty major mistake to just forget your +1 upgrade, especially in a mirror matchup. It's so it's so important. It opens so many timings for the opponent player if they have a time where they can attack and they've got an advantage because they've got an upgrade, because of that upgrade lead. So a little bit of a pretty big mistake here by Poo, unless he really just isn't planning to do it at all. But there we go. Now +1 on roach speed begin at the same time. And I would imagine he's kicking himself a little bit that he forgot that for so long here. As Cyril's going to try and attack into this 3rd base right now. Queen might go down. It's in a pretty good position, but still not quite good enough. So the Queen will fall, and some Baneling's coming in as well. Not needing to be used here, though, as the Zerglings just dart out as soon as that Queen does fall down. A bunch of roaches on the way up for either side. 18 roaches to 11 right now, favouring Cyril. And a huge wave of drones actually coming in for Poo. So if Cyril attacks right now, Poo might be in a little bit of trouble coming into the 3rd base again. These Zerglings trying to do a little bit more damage. They do pick off a couple of drones there, so Several, if he attacks right now, he's got a good advantage. He's got +1, he's got road speed as well, so you can get across the map nice and quickly. And Pupu is going to find it hard to deal with because he's just droned up as well, so he's going to be behind by quite a significant number of roaches, 11 to 27. And that difference in roaches again could be absolutely detrimental to Pupu's game here, as these roaches do move across the map. They come onto the creep right now. Zerglians and Balins counter-attacking once again into this third base. Not too much going down, but the roaches come straight up this ramp, and they might even kill off roaches, roach speed here, and they do. So roach speed goes down before it finishes. Cell just has so much anyway, though. And I mean, no more roaches can be made for Pupu. It's as simple as that, and he is going to lose everything here. I mean, there's way more roaches for Cyril. He has the upgrade advantage as well. And Pupu's just kind of messed this up a little bit. He was way too greedy on the drone count, and yeah, he should have just been a little bit more conservative, and he may have been able to pull this off. 34 Lings trying to come out for him, just trying to spend his money, but I mean, really, it's just not going to happen. Balin Nest will go down. Not that we really foresaw any Balins being made here. GG called, and a fairly quick, simple game by Cyril there to take mYinsanity onto match point in this best of 7. One game away now from taking the victory here today and putting mYinsanity to a 5-1 scoreline. It would put them into first place in Group A of the competition. So, well, who do Karnage eSports send out last? I do believe it will be Ike. I would imagine it's going to be Ike. On what map though? I mean, Catalina's available, Foxtrot available, Nimbus available. Maybe Nimbus, just go for it. Foxtrot's not going to be that great. Catalina's possible, I guess. We'll find out, guys, after a quick game number 5, and the opportunity for mYinsanity to close out this series with a 4-1 victory over Karnage eSports, who have been on such great form lately, as we'll talk about again in a couple of moments once we load up into this game. And I mean, I think it's important to note because they were on great form and they came into this match with genuine potential to maybe cause a bit of an upset, or at least give mYinsanity a run for their money. Unfortunately, their players just haven't really performed as well as I'd like to say performed as well as we were maybe expecting of them so far. Namshar fell quite early. You know, Insane brought it back a bit, but then he died off against Cyril quite fast as well. And I mean, Cyril is a very strong opponent, so you know, no disrespect to Insane or Pupu, we've had trouble against him so far. But I mean, if you really want to try and cause an upset, you can't let yourself go 3-1 down, right? You know, when you're already the underdogs, and with mYinsanity having the number of different players they could bring out next, you don't want to end up 3-1 down. So I think it's very important for Karnage to get an early lead in this, or to take down some players nice and quickly, but they haven't been able to do that. Right now it comes down to their ace player from Karnage eSports, the Blue Protoss from Norway. It's Ike. He swarms here in the bottom right hand side of Catalina. His opponent in the upper right hand corner representing mYinsanity, it's Cyril, the red Zerg player from Finland. So excited to see how this is going to go. Always like the music on this map. The music on this, every time I'm on Catalina, it's always some really good background music. Always. Ike looking as though he's going to forge expand here, as he has put a pylon on the low ground of his natural expansion. And there's just been a little bit annoying with the probe right now. Forcing the pool first as well, of course. Excuse me. Forcing the pool first because, of course, you can't risk trying to go hatchery first because the probe will just block you. So, force the pool first by bringing this probe across the map so quickly. And these drones trying to chase away that little probe. And this probe will end up coming down to the low ground here, where it will try and block off a hatchery from being made for a little while here. So, nice little dotting in and out there, trying to avoid taking damage on the probe, and at the same time also making sure to deny the expansion from coming down. So so yeah, there we go. The hatchery is now able to go down, and Ike comes into the main base with this little probie. So yeah, he comes back in here, sees if there's any gas. He has gone for Nexus first back at home, followed it up with a forge. And he's going to be setting into a fairly standard game him for himself. As I'm kind of wait to see what exactly he wants to do with this. I mean, so many possibilities. It's going to be him who generally dictates what happens in this game. As the Protoss player, it's going to be up to the Zerg to generally react to what the Protoss player is doing. So, excuse me, I've left the overlay on. Excuse me, guys. My mind's just not with it, is it? too many mistakes today. Sorry about that. Better to see that now than in 10 minutes time when it's been there all game long and the game's over or something. So, anyways, yeah, so Ike, he comes back home. He's with this little probe. He actually doesn't have a probe out on the map anymore, which is interesting. Just going to wall off here with this probe. Just realises he doesn't need to. A couple of Zerglings coming around here and looking for maybe an opportunity to get a little bit of scouting done up this ramp, see what's up. I mean, right now all Sorrel can see is inside of the main base where there's not too much to see other than these gas times. So you can probably tell it's a Forge Fast Expand by the timing of the gas, or Nexus First by the timing of the gas. He's just going to poke up this ramp to see if anything else can be spotted here. You know, most importantly, he wants to see if this Forge starts upgrading. You know, if that Forge does begin to upgrade, then he's going to know, you know, that limits what kind of attack this could be. It limits the kind of different all-ins it could be. It just crosses a couple things off of the list that Ike has to worry about. So, Forge not upgrading just yet, and that will be pretty good news here for Sorrel. Not really good news. I mean, it could be bad news because it could mean an earlier attack is coming. That's what Sorrel's bad against. But generally, it just means it's good that he knows what is happening here, and that hasn't started just yet. Third base on the way is about to finish up for Sorrel as well, or Sorrel as well, up here. So he's onto 3 bases nice and quickly. A Stargate comes down here for Ike. Positioned in a pretty nice place. Depends what direction this Overlord comes in at to try and scout. So, yeah, quite nice. Stargate down. Zerglings at the front, chased away by a Stalker. And it looks like Ike just wants to play a fairly standard game here, I'd imagine, from 3 base, from the Stargate opening. Generally, Stargates would suggest a third base coming down in the near future, would suggest that the pros players just thinking of playing a macro game, thinking of expanding. There's very few 2 base all-ins which work off of it, which work off of the Stargate opening. So that is why we generally see this. So Oracle first or Phoenix? It's actually going to be an Oracle here to start things up. You can go into Phoenix afterwards if you would like. Going to be spotted here immediately though. Sorrel picks a perfect map direction to scout with this Overlord. So this Overlord going to see everything here straight away and will fall. Oracle over halfway done right now, as a couple of gateways are going to be added on. And this Oracle will be heading across the map here very shortly. I mean, being scouted isn't the end of the world for a Stargate play. Interested to see if he actually does go Phoenix afterwards or not. So you keep an eye on your production tab for that as we follow this Oracle across the map here. See where it's going to end up going, see what damage it can end up doing. Probably not too much because Queens and Swordcrawlers seem to be well positioned here throughout the bases of Sorrel. So yeah, Ike just getting turned away immediately here. Not bad though for him. I mean, it's not devastating. It's not like, oh no, I've invested in this Oracle, it's done nothing. I mean, it's still going to give him a lot of map control, and as well as a lot of map control, it'll also just give him. Excuse me, I'm just trying to move my chair. Such a stupid chair. As well as a lot of map control, it'll just give him the opportunity to keep an eye on his opponent, and you know, use of Envision as well to see where use of Revelation to see where his opponent's units are. So yeah, looks though Ike just starting to move out towards the third base right now as his first one is on the way. He's going into Robo Bay as well, very standard Colossus composition. Roach Speed is on the way as well for our Zerg player, double Evolution Chamber. So both these guys just beginning to macro up. So we're going to see a little bit of a longer game here. If I can hit the right buttons. What am I pressing there? Oh, that takes the health bars away as well as this button. Wow. I found another button which does the exact same as a button I already knew. Brilliant! Okay, so Ike just moving through here with this Oracle, looking to see if he can spot anything at all. Right now he really can't though. So he's gonna just move this away. We've got a couple of roaches coming across the map right now. 3 roaches in total. Probably looking to, again, just scout more than anything. A few more roaches continue to come across. As we've got some Zerglings coming up as well, but I think Ike should be okay. His extra gateways are... he's actually only on 3 gateways. I guess he's going to add a couple of gateways here to help wall off, protect that cannon as well. Sorrel sees everything. Sorrel sees everything because he has the changeling here, so he knows this third base is up and running. Void Ray is actually coming out of that Stargate. I didn't actually see that happening, so tried to do something with Void Ray, but not quite able to achieve whatever it was he was hoping to do. And his first units coming in here, trying to grab a probe kill or 2. But they are unfortunately going to just get force fielded, and well, a lot of force fields to let these roaches just get away. And oh my god, he uses every single force field to kill like a single roach. Ike really messed them up there, and I mean, he probably would have been better to just give up on trying to drop the force fields at all. So a little bit unfortunate there. +2 and Blink on the way. Now he's actually going to struggle a little bit to deal with these Zerglings because he doesn't have the force fields. He's got a couple of force fields. It will actually end up being enough. But I mean, it was a little bit closer than it needed to be. Voider in the sky is actually going to be very useful against this kind of roachling attack. Will help to clean up these roaches here. Third base up and running now for our Protoss player. Fourth base spotted by our Protoss as well. Excuse me again. Yeah, so fourth base is spotted here and dropping a revelation into the main, and that's actually immediately going to spot the hive timing of our Zerg players. So 7 Infestors actually on the way out, which is interesting. Not so often we see Infestors. We have had Ling upgrades coming in as well, so it looks like we're going to go into a Ling Ultra composition from Saril. Some creep begins to get cleaned out, and he will pull his army back a little bit from this army moving forward for Ike. Some creep being cleaned out here, so I just opened up a pathway of attack. As these Zerglings actually going to split and try and come in for a couple of angles. Even if Infestor can get a Fungal Grove down this could be huge, and there's the Fungal Grove. He's going to recall out of there though, and he does get away with that recall. So a few Stalkers here going to get a little bit stuck. Blink not finished, so 4 Stalkers will go down. We're just free in the end, as this one is going to desperately try and get away. Okay, just free. These Infestors and these Lings, they're going to try and make something happen right now. These Zealots aren't going to be that useful at all when the Fungals come down. These Colossi are doing an okay job though. I mean, they completely clean up that Zergling army in a matter of seconds. Cyril gets away with the important things though, the Infestors and the few roaches he has, the gas units. So he keeps these alive. Which is going to be good, and another Fungal Growth gets dropped there. Actually kills off a Stalker and a Sentry, so a little bit ahead of himself there. Oracle potential to come into this fourth base. Not really what you can do again. Sport Crawler Queen, well defended. So he tries to come in. He's going to pick off a couple of drones, I would imagine. But that should be about it. And that will be exactly it. As some Zerglings now going to try and wrap around in towards this third base here of Ike. Some Vipers on the way. So we're going to see kind of Infestor laying a handful of Roaches and Vipers. We've got, again, now Ultralisks on the way. But they're not going to be kind of here. Well, they're not going to be properly here for a little while, as the Ultra Cavern has only just begun. So this run by has been annoying. It's actually causing Nike to turn around a little bit more than he would like to do, I would imagine. In fact, he's lost quite a few. Well, I say quite a few. I guess it's not that many. Just a handful of probes from that. It's not really that much of a threat from him for Ike at all, really. He's going to move back into middle of the map here and try and clean up a little bit more creep, I would imagine. +3 in charge, both on the way for our Protoss player. I'd like to see Templar Archives come down so we can see the some Archons being added on. I mean, Archons are going to be amazing against this composition. They're so tanky. The splash against the Lings is fantastic as well. Ike not really interested in it right now, though. He's got the money to drop a Templar Archive, so he could. Just moving forward right now, though, and looking for maybe an engagement, and a lot more Zealots being added in here. I mean, Templar Archives would be great just because he could do something with these about these Vipers as well, and then Infestors with feedbacks. Huge abducts coming down, and these Colossi are all going to go down just a matter of seconds. Sorrel's picked an amazing fight here initially. Excuse me again. There's a little bit of Protoss left over, and some Warpins are coming in, but I don't think it should be enough. 54 Zerglings on the way. It's going to be hard to deal with them without any splash damage at all. I mean, back at home he is remaking Colossi. Again though, Templar Archives could just be so useful. Feedbacks would have been great on the Vipers. As Cyril just going to sit back for a little while longer here. As these Stalkers and Zealots can try and hit this fourth base. Taking this down could be pretty huge, and he's not targeting the hatchery just yet because he's probably expecting the units to get over here before he can do anything about it. I mean, the position is really cute. He kills off an Infestor there as well. It's really cute because he can sit on kind of the ramp here, and it makes it very, very difficult for these Zerglings to actually fight, although a Blinding Cloud could completely change things with that. 4 Ultras on the way. Finally, we see that Templar Archives about to finish up, so we're going to see some Archons added on here, probably some, we could probably even see Storm added on. Storm's going to be great against the Zergling count of his opponents. Ton of Zealots coming in towards the main base from the War Prism here, and that's going to have to be responded to as well. I don't think sending the Zerglings is the best idea. Zerglings probably going to make, Zealots probably going to make pretty fast work with a lot of these Zerglings. I mean, they get this around, the Ultra comes in as well, he does clean it up. 4th base falls though, and Ike keeps himself in this game by picking off that 4th base, so base being re-established to the right hand side. It's going to be a little while before Cyril truly gets that up and running though. So Immortal production does begin after seeing the Ultralisks. So we've got 2 Colossi in the army. Temple Archives finished. We've got Immortal production now on the way. It's an interesting position for our Protoss player. He seems as though he should have enough. There's 8 Templars coming in. I imagine these 8 Templars are all going to be Archons, and yes, they are. Again, I'd like to see a couple for feedbacks for Infestors or Vipers. That would be nice. I guess Archons are pretty good as well, though. I mean, Archons are going to be, so important against the Ultras to tank a little bit, against the Lings to just put out some splash damage. And this army for Ike looking pretty good, actually. As we have these Zealots looking to move around the top side of the map. They actually intercept, run-by intercepts a run-by, basically. There will be the Zergs run-by, which will come out on top, but still these Zealots training fairly well. I mean, they're +3 Zealots. It's 2 Lings, but still, they're always going to fare fairly well against Zerglings, and another wave of Zealots should be more than enough to turn this around for now, as Ike is beginning to protect a 4th base. A line of cannons coming up there. Storm on the way as well, another Immortal about to pop out. And these Vipers coming forward here, and in fact it looks as though we might have an engagement right now. Feedbacks are huge, so the fungal growths though. Immortals coming forward here, and the Lings are already gone. The fungal growths are so huge, putting these Stalkers and combined with the Blind Cloud, it's incredible what it can do. But the Ultras are going to go down here, the Infestors are going to have to retreat, and this is actually going to be a win for Ike, I would imagine. He wins that quite convincingly. He loses his Archons. He has a couple of Templars left alive. He keeps his Immortals. He loses a single Colossus. But overall, I think it's probably okay. These Zealots now, for some reason, in the middle of the map, they're going to get cleaned up by a bunch of Zerglings, which again, I'm starting to question how useful can these Zerglings continue to be. Every single time we see Zerglings go into a fight, they seem to be gone in just a matter of seconds. Storm is only going to help that as well. 3-3 going to finish up for our Zerg player though, and that will make a difference in the fights, as a 5th base is going to be re-established where the 4th was before. This 4th has been starting to mine now. And yeah, these Infestors just sitting kind of around about this ramp position. A few drones transferring here or there. These Zerglings going to come around this left hand side and try and see what they can do. As again, intercepted by some Zealots. They will clean the Zealots up. But plenty of warning for Ike to just sit tight on these cannons with another warping of Zealots to be able to defend his 4th base while he continues to build up this main army of his. More Immortals being added on. I'm surprised he doesn't go back up to add a second robo facility maybe and just go into a couple of Colossi as well at the same time as adding on Immortals. It just gives him that little bit of extra potential as Zealots run into Zerglings once again. And they're actually going to retreat all the way back to these cannons here, drawing these Zerglings in. The cannons all firing in unison with the Zealots again. They should be more than enough. I mean, the Colossi are nice. The added splash damage is great. Of course, the Immortals are going to rip through the Ultralisks. I just think Colossi are going to be a good addition. Maybe clean up the Infestors a bit faster, clean up the Lings a bit. He does have Archons to do that for him, I suppose. And he does have Storms as well now, as well as multiple feedbacks available. So, kind of interested as at the moment Cyril is just building up a bank. He's at 1k, 2.5k, a lot of gas bank, and that's only going to keep on increasing with an 86 drone count. Ike about to max out, and when he maxes out I think it's time he starts doing something. I mean, these run-bys haven't been too successful for him, so maybe it's time to actually just get another Warp Prism out, start picking off these extra bases Cyril's trying to take all the time, and really sort of punish him for that. A ton of Zealots here. This is a huge number of Zealots, and wow, look at that, Cyril, great awareness, or look, with time enough selecting the Lings, he begins to move across, away from this force of Zealots, just as it begins to move out. A few GTs mixed in here as well. Excuse me again. A few DTs mixed in here as well, as some Baners actually trying to start up. The Baners actually might finish here, and of course Ike's not really paying attention to it. He's going to try and start splitting these units up. The Baners kind of do connect and clean out themselves very efficiently, and most of the DTs as well. At the same time, Ike is moving over the right hand side of the map and looking to find a way to do something here. Some more Templar being warped in. And wow, that was actually a really efficient trade there for Ike. The Bane is really, really useful. Some more Banes being added on. Of course, Banes are okay combined with the Ultralisks. The Ultras will block any force fields, which try and will destroy any force fields, which try and block the Banens out. As more Zealots and DTs come forward, there's actually some Zealots left over to this side. As these Zealots and DTs do begin to get cleaned up. This Dark Templar is unanswered for though. And this is starting to rack up the kills up to 9 kills already. As we do see these Zealots over here as well are going to start fighting these Zerglings. Now that could be a dead drone, maybe? Oh, it's going to make the hatchery, so hatchery under attack here. Cyril is going to not cancel it, so he kills the hatchery. So not that starved for money, it's not that much of an issue for him right now. And as we do see a couple more bins being morphed in again, as a huge army for Ike moves up this right hand side. And how do you come up a ramp like this? How do you come up this ramp? Alright, I don't know, he's made it up though, so he's gotten up the ramp. Blinding clouds coming down, the storm's feedbacks are huge feedbacks on a lot of the investors, taking down a lot of the potential fungal growths, and Cyril gets absolutely destroyed. The ultras just go down in seconds. There's nothing to support them, there's not enough fungal growths because of all the feedbacks. And Ike realizes that was an amazing fight for him. He's going to move forward from here. 34 Mutalisks on the way. Cyril is going to try and tech switch out of this one, but I'm not too sure how well this is going to work with Storm and, you know, a lot of Archons potentially able to be made here. I don't know if these Mutalisks are going to be able to make the difference. A lot of them are going to start going down immediately once they come out, and immediately Storm's coming down on some of them. As he actually cancels all of those which are coming in at the natural. Zergling counterattack's going to start breaking the natural of Ike. So he needs to be careful, he needs to start warping in right now. 34 meters is so many though. How many does he have? He's got 22 and 15 more on the way, so 37 in total. This base is taken down. Another Spire being remade here. Stalkers are going to try and hold the top of this ramp against these Zerglings, and they will do just that. Maybe he needs to warp in some Templar. Just Templar would be amazing in this sort of scenario. Templar for Archons or Storms, you know, either's going to work. Archons would actually be great. He's actually going to warp in Zealots here to try and deal with the Zerglings. And if he deals with the Zerglings, there's only going to be Mutalisks left. So then he only really has to worry about warping in Stalkers from that point on. A single Phoenix comes out, it flies straight into the Mutalisks. Stalkers are going to try and blink around, try and take down whatever Mutas they got. Ah, one Muta goes down. Game kind of close right now as we see Cyril and Ike just continuing to base trade here. Much more Zerglings coming in towards this natural and into this main base. I don't know what they're going to go for. They're going to go for the Stargate, but I don't really think Phoenixes are a threat. I mean, you can only make one Phoenix at a time. Not that much of a threat at all. Now we're seeing 4 Templars being warped in. Where they've been warped in, I think the 4th base is probably going to be the point of defense here for Ike. It's just a matter of how long can this Templar Archive stay alive for. As Archons coming in, they're going to take out this base as well now. Mutas looking for an opportunity to do some damage. Archons are going to do a good job of fending them away, but he gets picked off as well. And now, in fact, maybe not enough to actually hold on against these Mutalisks. Cannon's just getting absolutely just one-shotted in just a matter of seconds here. And, well, Ike, he's actually in a lot of trouble now. This Archon's not enough at all, so he's going to lose a 4th base as well. He's starting to kind of run out of options as to what to actually do here. He's running out of gateways, he's running out of anything to warp in off. And there's another spike here, and 5 more Mutalisks on the way already for Cyril. As this next Nexus is going to be targeted down here, and Ike, it looked as though he had the fight to win this game. He's coming back with everything right now, and I mean, it may just be that fight, you know, sitting on this one Nexus is his only way to kind of do anything, but he's not going to have enough money for that. You know, he's not going to be able to mine here. Sitting on this Nexus would have been so much better for him. But it's a little bit late for that now as he blinks in. I mean, the Nexus is going to fall anyway, so he doesn't have enough money to build another Nexus. That is basically the end of Ike being able to build stuff. And now it's actually kind of hard to see Cyril being able to lose this game. And, wow, I mean, just no answer to the Mutalisks at all. At all. Yeah, I mean, Cyril, I genuinely thought he was in trouble when he, as the final Nexus goes down, when he, lost that fight in the middle of the map. I genuinely thought he was in a lot of trouble, but turns out he wasn't. Single Colossus on the way across the map. I don't know what he's going to go for. I guess he could clean up one of these hatcheries. In the end here, maybe Ike would have been better off just going around killing off the drones than trying to come home and defend. Some probes are coming up here. They're going to maybe try and do something. I don't really know. Little group of Archons. I mean, Archons are still going to be deadly if these Mutalisks do clump up, so mistakes are still possible to bring this game back for Karnage eSports Ike. Mistakes are still possible. As probes are actually trying to take down the drones, Mutas are still being made though. Probes are all going to fall. That's all but one probe now dead. This Colossus is going to be maybe the next target. He sees the rest of the army, though, so he has to be very careful about it. And drones trying to be evacuated. They do find a way out. Spotted by the Colossus, though, so I mean, that's going to be the main target to get them drones. They're actually going up towards that natural. I think like he just really needs to just go with everything. I mean, but how do you stop all the drones from just going all over the map? There's drones over here as well, which Cyril can use if he needs to. He's still kind of mine here. He's going to start with a spine crawler ball as well. And I mean, it's starting to get harder and harder to actually imagine this being a possibility. Mutalists are just cleaning out some of the last few buildings of our Protoss player, and when he's just split up the Mutalists to do it as well, he probably realizes he's got more than enough to just straight up base trade now, just kill off the buildings. These Archons need to go up this ramp really fucking quickly, because otherwise we're going to see a huge wall of spine crawlers finishing production, and he's just not doing it. Now he moves up. He's going to be able to blink in here. He's going to start killing these off. This is going to be soon enough. Hatchery does fall over here. He is going to spot with a Stalker here. Drones just all over the map though, and I mean, last few buildings remaining now for Ike as the Mutas split up once again, and there's going to be no probes to build anything else. The Assimilator and Pylon is going to go down. Ike just GG's. He knows it's over. And a pretty crazy game to round out the series between mYinsanity